Your mind is a powerful thing, and when you change this habit and stop running on autopilot, you can actually take the wheel. That's when everything starts to change. Have you ever stopped to question the thoughts running through your mind? Today we're talking about something that can completely change the way you experience life. Self-reflection and questioning what you're thinking. This isn't just about another mindset trick or a productivity hack. It's about learning to question the thoughts and beliefs that shape your reality, so you can stop being controlled by them and start making real conscious choices. I used to think that if I just collected enough strategies, I could fix everything. Read the right books, watch the right videos, follow the right steps. Eventually, I'd have my mind completely under control. But no matter how many tricks I learned, the same old doubts, reactions, and patterns kept showing up. I was running in circles trying to stack solutions on top of problems without ever questioning where those problems came from in the first place. The real change started when I stopped adding and started questioning. Instead of searching for something new to fix me, I started asking, why do I think this way? Where did this come from? That shift changed everything. Most of us go through life reacting without thinking. Something upsets us, and we assume the feeling is justified. Someone ignores us, and we tell ourselves a story about what it means. We fail at something, and the same old voice in our head whispers, "See, this always happens." But how often do we stop and ask where those thoughts came from? I remember a time when I used to get anxious whenever I didn't hear back from a close friend right away. My mind would go straight to worst case scenarios. Maybe they were upset with me, maybe I had said something wrong, maybe I just wasn't important to them. And one day, instead of letting that spiral take over, I stopped and asked myself, why do I jump to this conclusion? What am I assuming? After sitting with it, I realized it had nothing to do with my friend. It traced back to years of feeling like I had to prove my worth to people, like any silence meant I was being pushed aside. It was an old fear disguised as reality. The moment I saw that, the power it had over me started to fade. The first step to breaking free from these patterns is noticing when they show up. Triggers are anything that sparks a strong reaction: anger, insecurity, fear, and frustration. They might come from an offhand comment, stressful situation, or even a look someone gives you. But the trigger itself isn't the real issue. It's just pressing on something that already exists inside you. Start paying attention. What situations stir up the strongest emotions? When do you feel defensive, small, or unworthy? What thoughts race through your head in those moments? Instead of running from those feelings, lean in. They're showing you something important. Once you notice a trigger, the next step is to get curious. Not critical, not judgmental, just curious. Some helpful questions to ask. What story am I telling myself about this situation? Is this belief something I chose or something I absorbed from others? If a friend came to me with this exact situation, what would I tell them? The mind loves to hold on to old beliefs, but when you start questioning them, they lose their grip. It's like shining a light on a shadow. The moment you really look at it, it stops being so scary. There's a moment right before you react where you have a choice. You can go down the same old road, letting frustration, fear, or self-doubt take the lead, or you can pause. That pause is everything. It's the space where you get to decide, do I want to keep feeding this pattern, or do I want to see things differently? A friend of mine once told me about how he struggled in social situations. Every time he was in a group, he assumed others didn't really want him there. This belief kept him distant and made conversations feel awkward. But one day he stopped and asked himself, am I seeing things as they are, or am I assuming based on past experiences? When he sat through this question, he realized that his fear wasn't about the people around him. It was about old memories of feeling left out as a child. By stepping back and recognizing that, he was able to start engaging without constantly second-guessing himself. This is the power of self-reflection. It doesn't change things overnight, but it creates that space where real change can happen. Once you recognize a belief that's holding you back, ask yourself, do I want to keep carrying this? Is it helping me, or is it just an old story I've outgrown? You don't have to force yourself to think the exact opposite. You just have to loosen the grip of that belief. If your mind says, I'll never be good enough, try softening it. Maybe I've been carrying this belief for a long time, but that doesn't mean it's true. Even small shifts make a difference. Self-reflection is not just about catching negative beliefs, it's also about identifying positive ones and strengthening them. When something goes well, Take a moment to reflect on why. What belief led to that success? What inner thought supported that outcome? Reinforce the patterns that serve you. The ability to reflect shapes every part of life. In relationships, it helps us listen instead of reacting defensively. In work, it helps us see challenges as learning opportunities rather than failures. In personal growth, it helps us break free from old patterns that no longer serve us. A great way to practice self-reflection is journaling. Writing down your thoughts allows you to see patterns you might not notice otherwise. If you've ever had a recurring frustration, try journaling about it. See what comes up when you ask yourself deeper questions. Patterns will start to emerge, and with them, the opportunity to shift them. Another method is mindful pauses throughout the day. Before reacting to something emotionally, take a deep breath and ask, is my reaction coming from this moment or from something older? Even a few seconds of reflection can make a massive difference. Most of us don't question what we think. We don't self-reflect why we think the way we do. It's hard, especially looking back and remembering the hard times, facing uncomfortable realities, pain we've been through. But it's important to look back and go through this process to change your life. We're all running on scripts we didn't write. Scripts handed down by family, experiences, culture, and past pain. But the moment you start questioning those scripts, you realize that you have a choice. You don't have to keep playing the same old role. You don't have to keep telling the same story. So start asking, start paying attention. Your mind is a powerful thing, and when you change this habit and stop running on autopilot, you can actually take the wheel. That's when everything starts to change. Stay positive, friends.